Hello friends, it's time for another episode of Year of Rex, the series I'm doing this year to try and have my best reading year ever, let's not talk about that, where I get different book recommendations from different places every episode. And today I'm doing something I've never done before, and that is a quiz to tell me what type of reader I am, and we're going to get book recommendations based on my personal reader type. This quiz seems quite in-depth, it's got 22 different types of readers, so I'm really excited to see how this goes, to see what my reader type is, and to see whether it gets me A, what I think is my correct reader type, and B, whether it gives me good book recommendations based on that. So shall we just dive into it, see what I am, see what books I'm going to be reading. I cannot wait for this episode of Year of Rex, let's go! Hello friends, it's time to find out what my reader type is and what we're going to be reading. My patrons have been doing, I sent them this quiz last night. I was like, do you think this would be a good Year of Rex episode? Because I'll talk about this more at some point, but not the final episode of Year of Rex, the penultimate 2 episodes of Year of Rex are falling through. It's really bad out here for me. So I've had to find new episodes. And I think doing a reader type quiz is actually going to be a really good one because I've never done anything like this. I've never done anything, hard to believe I know in my years of doing booktube, I've never really done anything like, I don't think I've done like personality type picks what I read. Like I've never done like a quiz. Have I ever done a quiz picks what I read? I don't think I have. So this is actually very exciting. So here's the quiz from Bookfinity. There are 22 unique reader types. This is very exciting. Are you excited? I'm so excited. 22 unique reader types. And I think it gives you like your main type and then 2 like cusp types and gives you recommendations based on those. We're going to see how it goes. My name is Megan.
It's almost time for Meg to serve.
Let's see, what does this quiz have in store? Nice to meet you. How would you describe yourself? Religious. Okay, I would say, it's quite embarrassing. I would say I'm loving. Well, no, it's going to give me romance then. I'm not loving. I've never loved a day in my life. I would say I'm fun. I'm imaginative. I don't want to describe myself as intelligent, but I like intelligent books. Ambitious. Witty. I've already done fun. I'm going to do intelligent. We want intelligent books. Other than reading books, what do you do in your spare time? Pick up to 3. Creating videos or podcasts for social. I do that. I don't write fanfic. Traveling to explore. I love traveling. I don't do it as much as I would like. Enjoying the laser play. I do watch a lot of football. You guys don't necessarily know that about me, but I watch football every week. Every Norwich game I pretty much watch. Oh, relaxing with self-care. I love a bit of self-care. Do you want to say traveling to explore somewhere new or playing? I would say traveling. Well, I don't do that a lot though, because I'm poor. I'm saving up to buy a house or flat. That's why I don't travel as much as I would like. No, I love traveling. If I could travel every day, I would. What does your dream vacation look like? Oh, I love a chill on the... See, I love different types of vacations. I love a chill on the beach. I love just a beach resort holiday. I fucking... thrill-seeking adventure park. I'm a Disney and Universal Florida girl. Like, I've been there 5 times. I love a good food tour through Europe. Skiing. I can't ski. I'm going to say thrill-seeking at adventure park, because I love it. What does your perfect weekend look like? Oh. Going to church. There's a lot of religious leaning. Okay. I go like on walks a lot, roasting s'mores, I do like trying out a new restaurant, working on a new project, or craft. What is my perfect weekend? I don't know. I don't know if any of these are like my perfect weekend. My perfect weekend is maybe like going out for a nice walk, then having like a nice little pub lunch, and then going back and being cozy. I'll say trying a new restaurant or bar. Oh, what are your go-to binge shows? And I don't watch a lot of shows, so this could be difficult. I watch Only Murders in the Building. I haven't watched the new season yet, though. I don't know if I've watched any of these other shows. I haven't watched any of these other shows. Can I say I prefer to read? Yeah, I prefer to read. I haven't watched any of these other shows. Sorry. Movies. Do they have Con Air? My favourite movie? Die Hard? No. Barbie. I love Barbie. Pride and Prejudice. Well, not the movie. But that's fine. Oh! Which literary figure is your favourite? I feel like I have to say Sherlock Holmes. Even though that's not necessarily true. My answer is probably Evelyn Hugo. But I feel like I have to say Sherlock Holmes if I want any hope of them giving me a murder mystery. I'm saying Sherlock Holmes.
If you're gonna play a game, girl, play it right.
What was your... Hang on. Martha Stewart is not a Kobe Bryant is a literary figure? Anyway, let's just move on. Favourite thing about a plot? Plot twists? I'll say plot twists. What kind of book recommendations? Crime and mystery, fantasy. I might just say though, horror, thriller. Okay, we can pick up to 5. What else on here? Let's just say those 4. How many books do you read a year? 50 plus. Are you interested in book clubs? I'm in one already. My patron one. Not children's books. Okay. Oh my god. Wait, alright, Chris, go. What reader type am I? Making me sign in. Tell me what I am. Serial reader. Oh, the housemaid. Oh, okay. Let's take a moment. Let's see what I am first. Explore serial. Okay. Expect the unexpected. A serial reader might be called many things, but you would never be called gullible. You enjoy a page turner lives up to its hype, keeping you on your toes with excitement, thrills, and well, let's be honest, murder. This is spot on. Solving puzzles and riddles to get to the bottom of a mystery is your favourite thing. Oh my god, you're a good judge of character and can see through deceit easier than others. You're loyal and I would never abandon a book. I very rarely DNF, mainly because you need to know how it ends. Oh my god. I feel very seen. Oh my god. What am I also? A little dragon slayer. Okay, I like a little bit of fantasy and a little bit beach reader. Okay, right. Let's see the books. Let's see serial reader. Oh, I'm just going to do serial reader recommendations. Oh! Okay, hold on. Do I have to pick stuff from this? Or should I load more? Okay. Anthony Horowitz. I have always wanted to read Anthony Horowitz. Is this one partway through a series? Yes, it is. Okay, we're not reading that. I think with this is I can refresh or load more. Interesting. Well, I enjoy The Maid. Lisa Foley. When do I stop loading more and hope that I'll get one that's on my TBR? I want at least one book that's on my TBR. So that's the goal. Let's find one that's on my TBR and then we'll pick some others. The Man Who Died Twice. See, they know me. Magpie Murders. Okay. That's not on my TBR, but I think that's the first one in the series. Yes, okay, that's the first in the series. I want to read Anthony Horowitz. I've been recommended Anthony Horowitz so many times. I'm also very interested. I've never read Mary Kubica, so I'm very interested in reading a Mary Kubica. I just want something that's on my TBR. Wait, have I read that? Have I read the Verifiers or have I not read the Verifiers? I actually don't think I've read it. I think I was thinking of the cartographers, but the Verifiers is on my TBR. Hold on. I haven't read it. Okay. I didn't need to scroll that far. I'm going to read The Verifiers by Jane Peck. Not the best rating, but I own this. So this is something I can start today. The senior thesis on Jane Austen. Amateur sleuth exploring landscape of New York. Okay, this is exciting. We're going to read that one. We're going to read the Magpie Murders because I've been meaning to read Anthony Horowitz for 10,000 years. And then let's just go with the first book that he recommends, mayhaps. The Peacock and the Sparrow, mystery detective, international crime mystery, espionage. During the Arab Spring, it's like American Spy. I don't know if that's for me.
Haha, this is not for me.
No.
Agamemnon's final mission goes dangerously awry, cracking debut thriller from a former CIA officer. I was like, I'm definitely going to read the first one. What's the spirit of this? Should I be reading only stuff from this? I feel like, okay, I'm only going to let myself pick from this screen, other than I'm swapping out The Sentence of Death for Magpie Murders, because that's the second in the series, so I can't read that, but Anthony Horowitz is on the first line. Okay, so we're reading that, reading The Verifiers, and I can pick something else from this initial 10. Witches? That sounds interesting. Fiction, mystery detective, women's sleuths, world literature, Mexico. But a beguiling story of a young journalist whose investigation of murder leads her to the most legendary healer in all of Mexico, one of the most prominent voices of a generation of Latin American writers. Paloma is dead, but before she was murdered, traditional healer, before she was murdered... Oh! 2 parallel narratives. I don't know about that. But this sounds interesting. Maybe I'm gonna read this. There's something about this. This is attracting me. I'm just not interested in that first one. Spy, espionage. I don't read a lot of that. So, we're going to read Witches. We're going to read Witches, we're going to read Magpie Murders, and we're going to read the Verifiers, so I can start the Verifiers today. So that's the plan. I'm very excited. I feel like that's a very interesting TBR. And to be honest, I feel like it got my reading type down to a T. I love mysteries. It knows me. It knows, I mean, maybe the Sherlock Holmes. I wonder if I would have got the same one had I said Evelyn Hugo instead of Sherlock Holmes. But, I mean, I haven't read enough Sherlock Holmes I do love a bit of Sherlock Holmes. Anyways, I'm going to go start reading. I'm going to start today with the Verifiers. And I'm very excited to see how I get on with all these books. This is a very intriguing list. Hello. I'm going insane.
Oh my god! I thought this was a classy party.
It's unrelated to this. Me and my patrons are talking about whether we think the Goodreads Choice Awards are going to be announced tomorrow. And I'm going a bit insane. Sorry for bringing that vibe into this video. It's the same evening. I spoke to this piece of hair has been pissing me off all day. It's been getting on my last nerve. It's making my hair look greasy. I mean, I'm going to go wash my hair, but my hair is not greasy. I hate you. You are my worst enemy. Anyways, it's the same evening. I picked out the books this morning and I'm getting reading, baby. The rest of this year, I am so serious about reading. I'm really, really serious about it. I'm going to be reading so much. And I'm about halfway through the Verifiers. Let's call it halfway. It's basically halfway. I'm halfway through. I'm enjoying this way, way, way more than I thought I would. I went into this with pretty low expectations because I've heard not the best things. I think I've seen a few people not enjoy it. And the Goodreads rating is a 3.5. I'm having fun. So basically, this is very interesting. I can't tell whether this is supposed to be a little bit in the future because basically our girlie works for a online dating detective agency. So they're a detective agency to investigate people who are online dating. So if you're online dating someone you don't think they're legit, you can hire these people. Part of me thinks, oh, this is a little bit in the future, in a world where online dating is even more of a thing, a little bit dystopian, but could this exist now? Does online dating have this much of a stranglehold on the population right now? I don't know, because I've been single, I hope not. I've been not single for almost a decade now. I can't imagine, God forbid, Tom and I mean, touch wood, but if I was ever single and I had to go out there and date, it's the Wild Wild West. I mean, this book feels dystopian. So if this is not supposed to be dystopian, dear God. Anyways, she's working for this agency. A client goes missing. So people are coming to her for help. And it's also kind of the story of her being a young Chinese American and her family. And she's also gay. And her personal life. And her in this job that she's kind of trying to navigate whether she enjoys or not. And the mystery about what's going on with her client who kind of came to her with this investigation. I'm really enjoying that. The humour of this is definitely reminding me of Finlay Donovan. I think if you enjoyed Finlay Donovan, this could be a good one to pick up. It's got that same kind of voicey main character with a very dry sense of humour and some stuff keeps going wrong. It just is reminding me a lot of Finlay Donovan in terms of its humour. Our main girlie loves literary references. She loves a bit of Jane Austen. She loves Janie. And I love anyone who loves Janie. She's quoting Janie left, right and centre. I don't think it's memorable. It's a 3.54, right? But I was just not expecting to enjoy it that much. And nothing about it is upsetting me. Nothing about it is making me go, you know what I mean? Nothing is making me upset. It's good. It's fine. I'm having a good time. Is it fucking Booker Prize nominated, which apparently is tomorrow as well. Big day tomorrow. No, it's not. But I'm enjoying it. I don't know if I should sound so surprised. The mystery, perhaps, it's not a strong hook, right? So, we're investigating this mystery, but we almost don't know what we're investigating. We just know something's dodgy, and we're trying to find out what is dodgy rather than having, a mystery to solve, you know? And that's perhaps a little bit weak. But I think it's a quick, fun read. I'm having fun. I'm now going to grab a bath and then I'm going to watch Goodreads Choice Awards predictions the rest of the evening whilst playing something on my Switch. That's my plan. I'm watching everyone's predictions tonight because it looks like it might be tomorrow. This is Christmas Eve. We're all just talking in our Discord about how it's Christmas Eve. It's literally Christmas Eve.
That's what Christmas is about, isn't it? Yeah.
So I'm gonna go do that. I may read a little bit more of this tonight. But yeah, I'm pleasantly surprised by how much I'm enjoying this. And I'm glad actually, we've done this with ones before. I think for the subscriber episode, we've ended up with one book that was on my TBR, one book that I've heard of and I've wanted to read but don't own, and one book I've never heard of, which I think is a really good mix. And I'm glad that this video is getting me to read this book because this has been on my TBR since March 2022. Dear God. So anyways, I'll see you hopefully tomorrow finishing this. I'm like blitzing through it. I think in the first 10 days of November, I finished 7 books. I'm just blitzing. Hello friends, how are we all doing? I have finished the Verifiers. This one's a tricky one because I don't think this deserves the rating it has, which is like a 3.5, but I'm giving this a 3.5.
That doesn't make no sense.
Here's the thing, if a book has that low rating, that usually means you'd expect to give it a lower rating because people on Goodreads tend to rate more generously than perhaps some of the rest of us do. I think this is a great mystery. I think it's a great debut. I think, well, the initial part is a great mystery. I think all the things I loved about it before that I was mentioning, like the character, the, family representation in it, I really enjoyed. But the ending, I found a bit anticlimactic. It was kind of like, I felt like I missed a puzzle piece somewhere. It's espousing to be a mystery. It's espousing to love detective stories and to be obsessed with detective stories, and she keeps imagining herself as a detective. It's not fair play, because, minor spoilers for this, a character who plays a big role, I'll just say that, in the reveal, is a character we barely know until we know that they play a role in the reveal. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I find that annoying, and I kind of was like, who is this person? Why do we care about them? Oh, they did that? Oh. Oh. So for that reason, 3.5. Otherwise, it would be like a very, very strong 4. I just didn't like the ending. This is one I'm not sure if I'm going to continue with the series or not, if I'm completely honest with you. It's one of those where a couple years ago, I would absolutely continue with the series. There's probably series like where I've read the first book on my TBR where I enjoyed the first book less than I enjoyed this. But I've just become pickier with what I continue and what series I continue. So I'm unsure. It's not out yet. The sequel is out in December. So I might see some early reviews come in for that. It's nice, I enjoyed it, but I'm not gonna particularly remember it. There was a lot about this I think is good. I think the setting in New York is very vivid. I think the matchmaking being at the centre of this mystery is a very interesting phenomenon, and it kind of takes it in a very interesting way in the second half. I think the second half was a little bit weaker than the first half. So, I'm now going to start Magpie Murders, which I'm so excited about, but also quite nervous about. I believe the first, this amount is a book. Like, it's a book within a book from, the 1950s, and then this is mostly, present day with an editor. Like, it's a book within a book, but it's not back and forth. Like, it is the book, and then it's the present day.
Yeah, I'll have to think about that one, for sure.
Which I'm a little bit terrified about. I think that's a very strange and interesting idea for a book. I don't really know what to expect, but I'm going to start it tonight. I've heard, wonderful things about it, so we'll see how it goes. I just want to give a shout out to my patrons and let you guys know about some exciting features that they've just added. So they have added basically a gifting feature, both for other people and for me. So essentially, you can gift or be gifted membership to my Patreon. So coming up to the holiday season, this might be, I don't know, if you've always wanted to join and see and test it out, you could ask for a month or a couple months as a gift. A reminder of the price of my tiers in pounds. My lowest tier is £3 a month, my mid tier is £7.50 a month, and my top tier is £15 a month. So you could ask for I don't know, 10 months of Team Miko for £30 as a gift from someone. I don't know, I'm just spitballing here. But yeah, they've added that feature, and I can also gift. So as I want to test out the feature, I thought that I'd have a link in the description, and the first 15 of you, I'm only doing a little one this time, we're testing it out, the first 15 people to check the link will get 1 month free of Team Lux.
I think I'll take them all, what a good deal.
which is my mid tier, which has the book club in it, you know, access to all my reading sprints, all my live shows, on the Discord, your name will get put in my videos, all that kind of thing. And yeah, I just want to test this feature out and see how it works, but I think it's really exciting you can gift it to people. The one thing, I've actually contacted Patreon support about this today. I know some of my patrons, because they love each other, want to gift each other months of memberships, and that isn't currently a feature, but Patreon have let me know, I've been speaking to them today, that they will take that into account and we'll think about adding that. But yeah, 15 of you who check the link down below, if you've ever thought about joining my Patreon, you can come try it out for a month and see what you think, and then you don't have to continue, but if you want to, you can stick around. I've been thinking lately, and I really think that my Patreon and the community there is maybe the thing I'm proudest of. I'm being deadly serious. Like, the friendships, real life friendships that have been made there, the Discord is really beyond me now. Like, it's taken a life of its own, and so many of my patrons have poured so much into it, and it's become such a special community. So, you know, I know that it's been a really special place for a lot of people, and if you're looking for a sense of community, a sense of bookish community, maybe give us a go and come join us. And, you know, I'm really proud of all the content. It's a huge part of my job. The content I make on there, I feel like you only see basically half of what I do here on YouTube, and I just have so much fun doing reading sprints with them every week. I did my Goodreads reaction with them this week. Like, I spent a lot of time with them this week, and they are just special. They're a very special group of people, and the community that I've created there, I'm very proud of. So 15 of you could come join us, link down below. Otherwise, you could always join us now anyways, or you could ask for a gift for holiday season or birthday, or a friend if they owe you money. So give me a membership to Meg's Patreon. No, I'm joking. I just think it's a very cool feature that they finally added. They've been teasing me with it for ages. But anyways, I'm going to go start Magpie Murders, and I'll see you once I'm a little bit of the way through. I probably will wait to get halfway because it's going to be a very strange reading experience. I really don't know. Honestly, it's like a book of two halves. They've got different fonts, and I don't know what to expect. Good evening, beauties. I am a little bit over halfway through Magpie Murders. I finished the book section within the book before we get into the book.
I'm nodding like I understand, but I'm not so sure I do.
I finished the novel section, which takes me, I think it was like about 275 pages. So I'm a little bit over halfway. And I thought it made sense to kind of finish that section and book in that section before getting into the rest of it. This is a very interesting reading experience. I'm not really sure what to make of it yet. So essentially what you need to know is that novel part is a classic quintessential Christie almost, like a little quaint English town, and murders occur, and a detective comes in who's very Hercule Poirot coded, and he's got a kind of dumb assistant, and they are investigating what happened. And we're really meeting quite a large cast of characters in this one around the village, and we're going to get little short snapshots with each of them, and there's different deaths that occur as well. There's deaths in history, there's modern day deaths, and we're kind of unpacking that all. I don't want to say too much. This is an interesting reading experience because you're not just reading it as a book, right? Because it kind of is like a length, that's like a Christie length that I've just read, right? You're not just reading it as a book, you're reading it knowing it will mean something more. Like, you're not just trying to solve the murders in the book itself, but you're trying to figure out, I have no inkling at this point what the rest of this book is going to be about, and how, you know, it says like the, you know, hidden in the page of the manuscript lies another story, a tale written between the very words on the page, telling of real life jealousy, greed, ruthless ambition, and murder. And like, you're reading it trying to figure that stuff out, but really you have no way of telling. So that is one thing. I'm not sure how I'm going to feel about this until the end. And I do feel like that different reading experience, I am perhaps not as invested, but your belief, because it's a book within a book, your belief is kind of suspended. And I think I prefer books than books when they're dispersed, but that's like one chunk that we just got with that. One thing I do quickly want to say, I remember when I did my BookTube twin test, Mara almost recommended me this, but said there's some dodgy stuff about Anthony Horowitz, which I'd never heard of, and I've Googled it, and it's, from what I can see, I mean, some of it's spoilery, so I didn't want to read it, because I do want to perhaps read some of his other books, but like, maybe a suspicious amount of gay villains, or also gay people who are murdered, and some, you know, some of his gay characters who are villainous or bad, like, it's okay in isolation because that's a bad character, but when it's a pattern, that's an issue. And he also said once that like a editor in publishing told him he couldn't write black characters because it would be disingenuous, but then people are calling him out saying you're just saying that because you're too afraid or don't want to write black characters, don't want to take the time and the care to write black characters. That's what I could find, and that he said he's conservative. Yeah, so that's what I could find. So it's not like something with some authors where it's like a big event, or like I mean, we all know who I'm talking about, where it's like, okay, I'm definitely gonna read their stuff. It's kind of, I don't know, stuff that's a bit more subtle than that, and I don't know. I don't really know what I make of it. But the reason I'm bringing it up is because I don't know if I'm reading into it, but I do feel like this book is trying to do something very similar, or this part of the book is trying to do something very similar to the Thursday Murder Club, where it really tries to shine a light on humanity. But the Thursday Murder Club does that with empathy and wanting to celebrate the differences in us, but also wanting to recognize how we're all together and all one, you know, we're all in this together, we're all in this, really with empathy, I think, and with a positive outlook on human nature. And I feel like this is doing the same thing but with a negative outlook on human nature. So I'm just bringing that up because I feel like that's got conservative written all over it. It's got Tory written all over it. For me, you know, I've been debating with her talking about the US election and stuff, and I'm very politically engaged, but so I feel like I want to talk about it, but I also want this to be a place that people can kind of come for distraction and happiness and joy. But there's something that I find when I think of right-wing people, in all honesty, whether that be conservatives in the UK or Republicans, I just feel like they lack empathy for another person, for any other person on the street that's not them. Everything is selfish, everything is self-serving, and there's no empathy, there's no kindness, there's no care for your fellow person, you know? And a bit of a joke at horrors here, but that's just kind of how it feels. But also there's the added complication that this novel is being written by another character, right? Who we haven't even met yet. So I don't know what and I might be reading into things, but I don't know what the character is gonna be like who's written this book. I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna know what I think of this until the second half, until I read the rest of this book. So I'm gonna go get through as much of it as I can now. It's a very, very interesting reading experience, and I'm enjoying the meta-ness of it, but it's kind of, I feel like it might be a bit jarring having it one chunk and then the other, you know? I don't know, we shall see. But yeah, hopefully I'll see you tomorrow having finished this, because I am reading it quite quickly, at least. I think there may be something wrong with me. I have finished Magpie Murders by Anthony Horowitz. Dida, I know. Dida's like hiding her face. That's how I feel.
I'm just gonna shut down, and I don't want to talk about it.
I'm giving this a 3.5. I know Mara loved this. I know so many other murder mystery fans loved this. I just had some issues with it. My main issue with this, well, twofold. It's too long, and the splitting up of the fictional and the non-fictional, I mean, it's all fictional, but you know what I mean, like, the book within a book and the book didn't work for me. Firstly, it's too long, and the too long gets into the book within a book. But let me just say, I had to force myself through the last 100 pages of this. I was just fucking still wading through mud and treacle. I really did not find, you know, with a murder mystery, you want to be being propelled towards the ending, and I was, in fact, resisting meeting the ending of this. And really, it's a very similar thing to Split Timeline, where you're following two separate stories. And in this, the gimmick is that they match up and they give clues to one another. And I'm not sure that the ending satisfactorily tied the book within a book and the book together in a way that makes me feel like what I just experienced was worth it.
I don't like the music. I'm entitled to my opinion.
I have too many characters to care about. I have too many plot lines to care about. I don't think it actually, I mean, minor spoilers, but I'm not satisfied. The whole thing is like, oh, it tells a secret tale of this, that, and the other, but I was expecting a bigger twist to do with them intertwining at the end. I don't feel like I don't think the ending of the book within a book is satisfactory, because basically you read the whole of it, but you don't have the last, like, 2 chapters, right? And then you get that at the end. And, yeah, that really pisses me off. Here's the thing, I love a lot of what this is about. I love you know, the self-referentialness to the murder mystery genre. I love the kind of clues and the way that different scenes play out. I do have to say, yeah, there is something, you know, when you just read, like, when I'm reading Thursday Murder Club, I hate to compare it to that, but like, to my point, what I was talking about in the last clip, when I'm reading that, it completely jibes with my point of view on the world, right, on humanity, and there's just points in this that don't, like, little points to do with, but there is a gay character in the second half of this, and like the attitudes around that, attitudes towards women at points, or just like certain, I don't want to spoil anything, but certain situations, the commentary it makes on that, I'm just like, I don't know, I didn't love it. I didn't love it. I feel like if there was any book in the world set up for me to love, it should be this, right? I should love this. I also just think I'm becoming so picky with murder mysteries. I have not given a murder mystery a 5-star this year. The closest I've come is Night Film with a 4.5, and I think I've given 2 T.E. Kinsey Lady Hardcastle books I've read a 4.5, but like I fucking love those books. I'm just so picky with murder mysteries now. They're my favourite thing, but I'm so picky with them. I enjoyed How to Solve Your Murder, gave that 4 stars. I gave Miss Austen Investigates 4 stars. So there's been ones I've enjoyed. This one is like disappointing because I expected it to go a level above. I have been looking for a murder mystery that has a meta-ness, that has a cut above your average murder mystery, and I thought this was going to be it. I thought this was going to be 5-star plus, but I really, really struggled. I don't know if it was a writing style, but I found it such a slog because of that split timelininess. I don't think it came together in a satisfactory way for me. I just should love this. Inside of the publishing genre, she's an editor, she's a book editor. I should love all of this, but I just found it disappointing. But here's the thing, both this and the Verifiers, I'm unsure whether to continue on in the series. You guys can tell, I need your opinions. I'm not sure whether to add them to my series spreadsheet or not. With Anthony Horowitz, I'm leaning... See, I've heard such good things about Moonflower Murders, which is the second one in this. And I don't know to what extent my biggest problem with this was the book and then another book, basically half and half, if that's the same in that one. So if you've read it, please let me know. I'm tempted, though, to not continue with the series and to pick up some of his other murder mysteries. There's a Hawthorne and Horowitz, which has, like... The one that was recommended to us in the top 10, and there's a sentence, I don't know, Close to Death is a release this year. I'm tempted to just pick that up. And the Verifiers, I'm half and half. Like, to continue both of these series would be an overestimate of my enjoyment of these series, but I feel like to not continue either would be an underestimate of my enjoyment of these 2 books. But I'm not sure if there's one I want to continue over the other. Does that make sense? So... I don't know. This evening, I'm going to read as much of Witches as I can. So we're going to see how much of this I can read tonight. I want to hopefully get at least halfway. This is a book, opposite to this, I have no preconceived notions going into this. I barely even know what it's about. I vaguely read the synopsis when I picked it out. But I'm excited for that. I'm excited to go into a book with little to no expectations. So I'll check in with you when I'm halfway. This, I believe, is translated as well, which is really, really fun. Translated from Spanish. So we'll see. We'll see what we think of this one. But I'm just going to cozy up with Dida now and get it read. And I just can't go over how disappointed I am by this one. Maybe I'm the problem. Maybe I'm the problem. Okay. Right. I just want to preface this by saying, I would not be saying what I'm about to say if I hadn't been worn down by Magpie Murders, okay? I can't read this. I'm so sorry. I'm really sorry. I'm DNFing it. I got about 50 pages in. So like with this book, that is like 20% of the book. I read 20% of the book. At this point, I'm reading words on a page.
Why are the pages so filled with so many words? Like, what the fuck?
I feel terrible about this. I really thought, I hate, it's a translated work, it's a diverse, all that. I don't want to be DNFing it, but I can't do it. I did not know until 30 pages in that we were alternating perspective with chapter. I was getting so confused because one of them was talking about having 1 son and then one was talking about having 3 kids. And I'm like, what is going on? Like, what is happening? Turns out there were 2 characters who we were alternating perspective between. One of which was the perspective I thought. One of which I wouldn't have known that was whose perspective we were following had I not looked up a Goodreads review. I'm so sorry. Essentially, a woman called Paloma is killed, and her cousin Feliciana goes to a journalist called Zoe to talk about the story. And we're following Zoe and Feliciana's perspectives. And from the reviews, this covers a lot of really, really important topics. Be that femicide, be that colonialism, be that abuse to women, etc, etc. The problem with this, it's stream of consciousness. I don't think I really get on with stream of consciousness writing. You will have a page-long paragraph and you will have like half of that page be one sentence, or sometimes longer. It is run on sentences. So this is all one sentence. This was my final straw. Because I didn't care about these worms. That's how the worms chewed. And you'd think, how could something small as a baby's finger make as much noise as a soldier, sorry, my S's are bad, marching on fallen leaves? But there they were, chewing away, those damned baby fingers and their racket. And when the worms got to be a good size, we separated them from the little ones. They didn't eat each other, because that's how life is. That's how we all are. Even the worms are like people. If you leave 3 men alone with a machete, they'll find a way to kill one another, and you'll never know how all 3 managed to die by the same machete. And that's how worms are just like people. If you leave them alone, they'll kill each other, and you'll never know how the one who killed the other 2 died. Worms and people both like to go at their kind with machetes. That's all one sentence. Now, I don't want to appear insensitive. I don't know if this kind of storytelling is common or is a reference to kind of traditional storytelling in Mexico, but I just did not get on with it. And I think I could have gone with it had I had the audiobook. I tried, guys. I tried my darndest to get my clammy little paws on an audiobook. VPNs were used. I was scouring the internet for a place I could get an audiobook for like under $20 for a book I wasn't even enjoying. I couldn't do it. I am DNFing it. I'm so sorry. I hate doing that. I hate DNFing it, especially on a video where the rating matters, because we're going to talk about that in a second. I think this could be for other people. It's not for me, but I think it could be for other people. This is not me dunking on it, but I had a real issue with the writing. I was just reading words on the page. I was not caring or taking in the story at all. So yeah, I feel really bad about it, but it was just not for me. The fact that we were like 6 chapters in, we'd been alternating chapters, and I did not know that these were different perspectives. Just put a name at the top, please. And there was no differentiation between the perspectives. There was no different style of writing, and that really grinds my gears in any book when we have multiple perspectives and there's not a distinct voice for each of the characters. Like, you need to write differently. These women come from very different backgrounds in this book, and so you need to write them differently, in my opinion. But obviously this is translated, so I don't know where my issues lie between the original text and then the translator and what they did with the book. But yes. Now, we have DNF'd 1 book before in Year of Rex, and we meant that had to be classed as a 0 for the rating determination, which I feel really bad about. Guys, this isn't a 0, but this is just, okay, listen, this could be for the people. I wanted to love it. I got drawn in by the title of Witches, okay? With the book that I DNF'd, it was like the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I had no qualms about giving that a 0. I do have qualms about this being classed as 0, but what can you do? So that does mean, now I'm just gonna say this quickly, the average rating and the score for the Bookfinity Reader's Type episode is 2.16. Okay, we're just gonna say that quickly. 2.16. 2.16. I just couldn't do it, guys. I just couldn't do it. I'm so sorry. I very rarely DNF, but I would have just been spending my time reading words on a page and not taking in the story. I think if I got my hands on an audiobook, I could have enjoyed it, because with this kind of stream of consciousness, I think I needed to hear someone saying it to me, right? Otherwise, I was just getting lost in what was happening. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Not the best episode. I really thought this was going to be successful because it got my reader type down. But mixed results. Mixed results with the books that we read. But let me know if you've read any of these. Let me know if you want to take, I'll put the link to the reader type quiz down below. Let me know if you take it, what your reader type is. I can't remember. Dragon Slayer was one of my cusp ones. I can't remember. But anyways, let me know, and I will see you very soon in another video. Bye!